Millions of years ago, a powerful being attempted to lead a rebellion against the divine. As punishment, he was cast out of the higher realm and fell into a place of torment. There, a celestial warrior chained him to a great rock and left his weapon as a seal. Before departing, the warrior heard the fallen one swear he would one day return as an equal to the divine. Over time, the fallen gathered other dark entities to aid in his return. His followers built a village around the place where he fell, waiting for the day he would rise again. In the year 2022, Laura, an art historian, is studying in Italy. She plans to write a thesis arguing that the great Italian artists didn't truly believe in the divine or infernal figures they portrayed. Her professor disapproves, saying the idea disrespects Italian heritage. To make matters worse, he invites her to discuss it at his apartment and makes her uncomfortable. Soon after, Laura meets Father Marco, who gives her a special pass to view every part of his cathedral, including a new exhibit containing an ancient relic said to be stained with holy blood. He gives her a full tour and shows her a new statue of a celestial warrior defeating the fallen one. They discuss the nature of evil, and Marco leaves her to sketch the statue for her thesis. As she draws, Laura hears someone calling her, but no one is there. Blaming her imagination, she continues working. Later, as the exhibition is about to close, a crow flies into the building and transforms into a mysterious woman named Liz, who sneaks through a restricted door. A guard sees this on the security feed. While walking through the Hall of Statues, Liz watches Laura from a distance. The statue's head seems to move, unsettling Laura, who then notices a crow at the window. While distracted, Liz steals the warrior's sword from the statue and leaves. A guard mistakes Laura for the intruder, but she proves she has permission to be there. After he leaves, she gathers her things and notices something strange about the statue's hand. She heads for the main exit, but finds it locked and looks for another way out. Returning to the hallway, she sees Liz eliminate the guard using the sword and is horrified. She hides in a confessional as Liz disables the security system using the guard's eye. Liz shatters the glass protecting the relic and takes it. Marco hears the noise and confronts her, but she wounds him. Her team arrives to secure the relic. Before leaving, Liz sees Laura hiding and orders her men to capture her. Once the room is empty, Marco uses his last breath to pray, asking the celestial warrior to inhabit his body and stop the fallen. The warrior descends and takes over Marco's body. He chases Liz's group using his supernatural speed, but the human vessel can't handle such power for long, and he is forced to stop. Elsewhere, a group of wealthy individuals listens to a child prodigy play the violin. Afterward, Dr. Lauren explains the child is a genetic replica of a famous composer. His company has been creating such replicas using DNA extracted from burial sites. These children are auctioned to elite families. Today, a replica of a renowned sculptor is introduced. Liz arrives to inform Lauren that they now possess the relic. The group travels to the hidden village, where Lauren is thrilled that he can finally attempt to replicate the holy figure. Laura is now imprisoned in a glass cell with Brenda and two other women. One is in a panic, but Laura speaks calmly to soothe her and suggests they work together. Before they can plan anything, several nurses arrive to check their vitals. Meanwhile, the warrior returns to the cathedral, where other clergy members are reviewing the security footage. They are shocked to see Marco alive, but he offers no explanation and asks about the relic. The priests explain that Cardinal Vinci had been in charge, but began showing signs of instability, speaking of hidden threats and secret societies. Most assumed it was due to age. The warrior is frustrated that they ignore ancient warnings and demands to know where Vinci is. He learns the cardinal now lives as a recluse. Taking the footage, the warrior also inquires about Laura and makes the priest swear to keep everything secret. He then dons a coat, takes Marco's car, and finds medication in the glove box to ease the pain caused by channeling divine power. A crow follows him unseen. In the hidden village, scientists attempt to extract genetic material from the relic. The warrior finds Vinci, who is armed and frightened. Upon touching him, Vinci realizes he is no ordinary man and believes him. He explains that the village was built around the ancient site and the nearby asylum served as an observation post. The scriptures speak of the fallen's return, which requires two ancient forces, one described as a woman, referring to Liz, and the other as a creature from the land. For years, his followers brought children to be vessels, but none were strong enough. That's why they took the relic. They intend to create a vessel from the only one believed strong enough to contain the fallen. Horrified, the warrior promises to stop them. Vinci leads him to the mountain base near the village. The warrior's presence causes the ancient seal to react, and the chains begin to loosen. Back in the village, the imprisoned women try to find a way to free themselves. As they share their stories, Laura reveals she lost her husband and son. Tests reveal she is a perfect match for something sinister, prompting Liz to give new orders. The nurses return to the cell to take the women, but they use their chains to resist. The women try to defend themselves, but more staff quickly arrive and overpower them, taking Brenda and Laura to the procedure room. There, the doctors implant special eggs into their wombs. Liz appears and introduces herself as a messenger. She tells Laura that she is the chosen one because of the drawings she saw in the cathedral, which she found very inspiring. Meanwhile, Vincini leaves Michael at the entrance of a hidden cave that leads to the village. Before leaving, Vincini notices a crow following them and takes it down, handing his weapon to Michael. Michael enters the cave. Shortly after, Laura and Brenda, dressed in ceremonial gowns, are taken to a gathering of worshippers and chained to a pillar. A creature appears and places the girls into a massive birdcage, which is lowered into the pit guarding the passage below. Several dark entities surround the cage and restrain the women. A powerful presence enters Brenda through her mouth. She struggles for a few seconds, but eventually gives in and passes away. This presence then transfers to Laura, who survives the experience unharmed. In a dazed state, Laura is presented by Liz as the chosen one and placed in a new glass room with a bed and medical equipment. When Laura asks what's inside her, Liz tells her it is something better. Meanwhile, Michael finds a door in the cave and forces it open, entering the village. The guards spot him, and he is hit in the shoulder. Despite the injury, he fights back, knocks them out, and takes a uniform and a pass. He infiltrates the laboratory, retrieves a sacred cloth, and uses the security cameras to find Laura. At that moment, Lauren enters the lab. Michael shoves him against a table and demands answers. Lauren explains that he works for something called a new beginning. Michael opens the gas cylinders and lights a flare, causing an explosion and creating a fire barrier. Alarms go off. Laura begs to be released, but the nurse refuses. Michael appears, takes out the nurse, and Laura hugs him, mistaking him for someone else. Lucifer begins to speak to Michael mentally, mocking his situation. Confused about how his protection was broken, Michael gets angry. Laura thinks he might be an enemy and runs, but Michael follows and pulls her into a room to hide. Laura steals his gun and threatens him, but he convinces her that he wants to protect her. After helping with his wound, Laura tells him what was done to her. Michael decides to help her escape. Liz sees them fleeing and sends her followers after them. During the chase, one guard nearly catches Laura, but Liz takes him out, knowing Laura must not be harmed. Michael and Laura attempt to escape through the cave, but the baby begins growing rapidly, making Laura weak and slow. Their delay gives their pursuers time to catch up. The creature confronts them. Michael fights well at first, but his human body fails, and he is defeated. Liz arrives and takes Laura back, threatening the baby if anyone touches Michael. Then she remembers that the priest is already gone and says only the angel must fall. Laura is returned to her cell and tied down. Michael, chained in the room with the pit, uses his powers to break free but is left extremely weak. He crawls to the pit and opens it, jumping in before the creature can reach him. Upon landing in the lower realm, he is attacked but fights back. He looks for his sword, but it's missing. The demons use a dark blade to restrain him, as he once did to their leader long ago. Meanwhile, the baby continues to grow at an unnatural pace. Liz tells Laura that this child will replace the one she lost. During an ultrasound, Laura sees the baby move and roar at her, but then she wakes up. It was just a dream. Liz sits beside her, asking if she hears anything. When Laura refuses to answer, Liz shares her version of a story about rebellion. Laura says she doesn't care, and Liz slaps her. She promises Laura will be free after giving birth, but demands obedience. Later, a group of children finds Michael. These are former victims who have survived together. Michael tells them he can take them back if they help him find his sword. The children are hesitant, unsure if they can trust another being like the one who betrayed them. Suddenly, dark forces appear, and the children run. Some are taken, and Michael can only watch, helpless. Back in the cell, a powerful force leaves Laura's womb and enters her mind, making her an offer she can't ignore. If she allows this presence into her life, it will help her get revenge on the one who hurt her family, and on Liz, whom she despises. Laura agrees and lets the force connect with the growing child. She dreams of holding him and bonding with him. Liz watches this unfold and starts to worry that Laura may become too strong. Later, while a nurse is running tests, Laura uses her new abilities to cut the lights and end the nurse's life. She then leaves the room and encounters another nurse. Laura begins to lose control under a dark influence and lashes out violently. Suddenly, she snaps back to awareness and is horrified by what she has done. Realizing things are spiraling, she decides she must stop the baby before anything worse happens. This causes the dark force within her to plead with her, calling her mother. Ignoring the voice, Laura runs to a janitor's closet as guards begin to chase her. She locks the door and grabs a bottle of bleach, struggling to fight the influence trying to stop her. After forcing herself to drink it, she collapses in pain. Liz breaks down the door and screams at her for what happened. As Liz turns to leave, Laura suddenly uses her powers to shut the door and pushes Liz down, releasing what's left of the bleach onto her. It's now clear that the dark force has taken full control again and is punishing Liz. Liz confesses she wishes she had been the one to carry the child, but the dark force ignores her and gives new commands. After the birth, no one can be left to speak of what happened. Everyone must be eliminated. It's also revealed that Laura is forming a bond with the baby, something dangerous to the dark force, which now wants her gone as well. Lauren arrives, only to be attacked as the entity demands to be saved from the bleach's effects. Later, Laura's body is placed in a healing chamber. During this time, the dark force leaves her and takes over a creature in another realm, mocking Michael for his failure. Witnesses in the shadows interpret this as a sign that Michael is still good. Once the force leaves, Michael finally understands the divine plan. The children who had been watching decide to help. They're not strong enough to remove the cursed weapon holding Michael back, so they search for his own sword. They find it buried among rubble. Just as they retrieve it, demons offer them freedom in exchange for the sword. They hesitate, remember Michael's words, and give the sword back to him. With his weapon restored, Michael returns to his true form and defeats the demons. He promises the children he'll come back for them. Taking over Marco's body, Michael returns to Earth, retrieves a sacred item, and heads toward Laura. He knocks out a guard and steals a weapon before checking on her, only to hear the dark voice speaking in her place. Trying to help, Michael moves the chamber with Laura inside to a safe room. When he opens it, he tries to explain the truth about the child, but the dark force pushes him away and forces Laura to act violently. She pins Michael down and announces the baby is arriving, releasing fluid that causes him great harm. Despite this, Michael doesn't give up. He explains his revelation. If the dark force enters a sacred body, it will be sealed forever. This enrages the entity, who lashes out and knocks Michael out. Liz arrives with guards, misinterpreting the situation and believing Laura is speaking. She orders them to take her to the altar above the pit. Laura gives birth, and Liz takes the baby immediately. Alone at the edge of the pit, Laura is left to fall. Outside, Liz presents the baby to the followers and declares a new kind of blessing will be performed. The beast emerges and eliminates everyone present, doctors, guards, and followers. Lauren, at first relieved to be spared, is also taken down after a final kiss to the child. Michael awakens, escapes the chamber, and finds Laura hanging from the pit's edge. He pulls her up, and they go to confront their enemy. Liz tries to flee with the child, but Laura catches her and takes the baby back. Liz begs her not to harm the child, believing it's still connected to the dark force. Michael explains that Laura was chosen by a higher power, and the child is actually the prison that will contain the force forever. Laura takes the child and meets with Vincini, while Michael stays to fight. The gates below are now open, and dark creatures are trying to escape. Michael reaches the pit and closes it, but is attacked by the beast. Just before it can reopen the gate, Michael finds hidden explosives left behind and sets them off, destroying the facility and sealing the entrance with debris. Sometime later, Vincini brings Laura and the baby to a sacred place, where they return the holy artifact. Michael returns to the underworld to free the children, as he once promised. Years pass. Laura now lives in a quiet facility with Vincini, protecting the child, who has grown strong. One day, Liz sneaks through the woods to find them. She calls out to the dark force, hoping for a response. But as it tries to escape from the child, he simply absorbs it back into himself, keeping it sealed, fulfilling the prophecy once and for all.